Welcome back to the Bourbon Note, everybody. I'm Ben, and tonight, welcome to the first episode of what is going to be an occasional new show here at the Bourbon Note called Second Opinion. And the reason for that is sometimes when you're reviewing a whiskey, it's just nice to get a second opinion. I've been doing this show solo for a while now, and it's been going just fine, but every once in a while, it's fun to have a pour with a friend, kick around some ideas about the bourbon that you're getting into, and just have a good conversation about it. So, with all that being said, tonight's first and featured guests are Brian and Marianne from Bourbon School, and tonight's featured pour of whiskey is McFarlane's Reserve MR16. Let's get into it. All right, so Brian and Marianne, thank you so much for doing this and kind of being my guinea pigs for this first review, like tandem review here that I'm doing. So, for those of you... Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I was so glad that you picked us to be your first ones. Like, I would have been offended if you didn't pick us.
The canaries in the coal mine, as it were.
Yeah, well, good. Then I'm glad I made the right choice so I don't offend anybody.
You did.
So, on the off chance that any of you don't know who Brian and Marianne are, you guys have a channel called Bourbon School. You guys are out of Buffalo, New York, or close to Buffalo, New York.
That's right.
So, and of course, you know, part of the Whiskey 6. So I would imagine anybody who's watching my channel probably knows who you guys are, but on the off chance that you don't, go like, comment, and subscribe to Brian and Marianne. And then Lauren is also part of the channel as well.
Absolutely. Jinx.
Well, now we got to do something for Brian to get him talking again. You got to like buy him a Coke or something?
Oh, I'll just say your name, Brian.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, there we go. God, that could have derailed this whole thing because I'm going to need your opinions on this.
Totally done with this segment.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So anyway, the whiskey that I've got in the sample for you guys and that I have on the bar tonight is, bam, McFarlane's Reserve MR16.
Okay.
Are you guys familiar with this at all?
No, I'm not.
This
Brian
is
might
a
be.
Spirits Direct, no?
It is a Spirits Direct, yes.
You're so smart.
And so McFarlane's Reserve is one of the Spirits Direct brands that I actually tend to like.
Okay.
Wheated bourbons usually. I don't know if this one is. But what it is a blend of 14 and 16-year-old bourbon finished in Pedro Jimenez sherry cask for 2 years.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's called MR16, but it's not technically a 16-year age stated because it does have a 14-year blend in it. So they kind of got a little fancy with the title there, kind of a little workaround with the MR16. But it is finished for 2 years. So I guess technically I don't know if the finish counts towards the age statement, but so that's what this one is. I have reviewed this one, and I wanted to do this with somebody else because I don't see a lot of reviews about this one online. And I just thought this was kind of a wild whiskey. And the people that I have sent samples to agreed that it's a bit of a wild whiskey. So with a 2-year sherry finish on it, you know, that's going to definitely add some character to it. Ooh. So let's get into the nose here.
It's got a sharp nose.
It is. Yeah, I was like, the ethanol hits you for sure. What's the proof on this, Ben?
90.
Really?
Oh, wow. I would have never guessed
so not
that.
even a high proof.
Oh, my goodness.
It really and maybe it could be because of the finish, like there just is a really strong burn coming out of the Glen.
It's very, very strong. You surprised me with the 90 for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it definitely drinks noses above its proof point for sure.
It's sharp, and you can smell the ethanol for sure. But I'm also getting a very sweet cherry forward
There's
smell.
Like some fruitiness for sure in it.
For sure.
I was literally just going to say it's sharp and fruity. That's exactly the words I was
Wow,
going to say.
cheers to that.
So
usually,
usually
when I do a review, I'm like, don't really pay attention to my notes because I always feel like they're way off. Like everybody else probably has a better palate and nose than me. I mean, they do for sure. But okay, I'll take it.
When all three of us agree, that's freaking amazing. I love that.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like this one is I wouldn't say easy to pick apart, but the flavors that are there are kind of undeniable.
Okay.
You know, underneath that fruit note, there's definitely some barrel there. There's almost a little bit of I find on higher age bourbons there's a tiny bit of a leather note. On some higher age ones, there's a little bit more of a leather note. It's very faint on this one. I think that fruit note kind of is definitely front and center, but it's got some standard bourbon notes.
I agree with that.
It has like it has like the dusty rickhouse smell too.
Yes.
Like a little bit of
Yes.
that.
Yeah. What's interesting to me is that the ethanol is not going away.
No,
Like, you know how eventually you become nose blind to something? That is not happening no matter how many number of sips I'm.
It's like almost peppery in your nose.
How
like
many
the
sniffs I'm
ethanol
taking.
is like peppery almost.
Yeah. It's singeing.
Yeah, for sure. It does have a nice little spice. Should we get in the palate?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers, Ben. I'm only not looking because I try not to get anybody else's reaction. Okay, it does not drink like it smells at all. There's no sharp burn. It's not sharp going down.
You get that like peppery heat back here, but I mean on your palate it's super smooth, like super mellowed out for sure.
It's very buttery too.
Yeah, it's what's interesting about this one, there is a every once in a while on a bourbon, I agree with you that it's not sharp ethanol wise. If there's something to be said about a little bite on it, it's almost as if have you ever drank a whiskey that almost has like a feel to it, almost similar to like a carbonated drink?
Oh,
like zippy?
Yeah.
Zippy. That's perfect. Yeah. This is why this is valuable to do, reviews with other people. I would have never come up with zippy, but I think that's probably the perfect way to describe it. Yeah, it almost feels like it's like some of them actually almost feel like they're textured. Like you get such a sugary brown sugar note that you can almost feel the granulated sugar in the whiskey, even though it's not there. On this one, I get a little bit of that borderline like carbonated feel to it.
Like a sizzle.
Rather than just an ethanol. Yeah, exactly. Like an effervescent sort of. And what I get with that is almost like a cherry, cherry 7-Up or cherry cola or something like that, like a cherry note that you'd find in a pop.
I agree. Cherry all day, for sure.
And that sensation kind of stays on your nose or on your palate as well. Like it's not like a burn, it's like a
my tongue
tingle,
is tickling.
like tingle, kind of,
Brian sometimes says that when he has something really sweet, it tickles his tongue.
Yeah.
Like a frosting that tickles your tongue.
That tickles your cheeks.
Yeah. Oh, cheeks. That's it. Yeah. It's not doing that, but I am feeling the tingle on my tongue for sure. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. So
this is a wild ride, Ben.
It is definitely, it's interesting in the sense that like I don't know if it's one that, you sit with for a half hour and it takes you for a roller coaster, but I feel like it's so off profile from even a standard finished bourbon.
Yeah.
That, it's just one of those ones that, I don't know, it's different and it's kind of hard to describe if you haven't had it.
I agree with you 100%. I think this would be a great warm-up pour, but I think you'd have to drink some water in between your this and your next bourbon.
It's going to leave like a coating on your tongue
and
almost.
your tongue, from the tongue tingle.
Yeah, but also the sweetness like that, like the finish, the sherry finish, like it leaves kind of that sweet like coating on your tongue that I think you would need to drink some water.
You have to drink it down, wash it out. But
cleanse your palate a little bit.
This is a great warm-up pour and is not something that I'm very surprised by the proof. Very, very surprised.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I think it's definitely bold in flavor. I think that that kind of dusty rickhouse note is showing up a little bit underneath on the palate too. So that's where I think this one maybe does take you for a little bit of a ride. You know how some whiskeys or bourbons in this case, you get all the flavor notes at once and they're just really, really good at what they do, but it doesn't change a whole lot. From sip to sip. This one's kind of in the middle. It's good at what it does, but it changes a little bit. You kind of notice a little bit of stuff, but I feel like the flavors in this are just so bold and undeniable that they're just always going to be there, kind of dominating it.
And I got like almost immediately, I don't know if I made a face when I first sipped it. It was not a bad face. I just could not square with the note I was getting. Right on the front, the first couple sips, I got a really strong sweet like maple note, and I was like, that is weird.
Interesting.
And it's still it's much slighter than it was, but it's still there. But I will also tell you the other thing that really stands out for me is this, like it finishes for days. Like that aroma of like the finish is just in your palate forever.
Yep. And I think you're right on that with if you did use this as a warm-up pour, I think you would have to probably do some rinsing. Also, though, you know what? on the subject of, having this with multiple bourbons, I think you could drink a couple of 100 proofers, maybe a little higher than that, and then still drink this afterwards, and this one's still going to show up.
For sure.
because the flavors in it. Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to tell you what, while you guys were talking, Pop Rocks.
Really?
Is exactly what came to my mind.
Interesting.
The Pop Rocks flavor, the feeling on my tongue, and the lingering sensation after a Pop Rock is exactly what I'm getting from this bourbon.
I was going to bring up when we were talking about like kind of the effervescent sort of feeling that this leaves, like either Pop Rocks or like those, what are they called? Like Zots or something that do you remember those old? They're like hard candies, and I think they have stuff in the middle.
No.
Maybe that's
it's
a Minnesotan thing.
It could be, yeah. It was an 80s, 90s thing for sure.
It's a Midwestern thing,
Midwestern, because we are 80s, 90s kids for sure, Ben. But I like that you thought of Pop Rocks.
With doing these, I'm looking at you guys on my screen, but it means I'm actually looking away from you on the. So it's so funny. So in order to look at you and kind of like talk to you, to the audience, I'm looking the opposite direction.
I thought of that too.
Awkward.
We're looking down the whole time. We're not looking at the camera.
I've tried to look at the camera a whole bunch of times, but I realized. So apologies to your audience. It's a weird thing doing it this way.
I think I like this one. What did you pay for this?
Well, so that's what we're about to get into next. So, Total Wine. I've brought this up in reviews before. Total Wine is a great store. Do you have Total Wines out there?
We don't.
Do not.
You don't. Okay. So for people that don't know, it's a big box store, liquor store, kind of known around most of the country has them, but there are pockets of places that don't. I think there's other places like Binny's is one that we don't have here, but I've heard of that's kind of like a big box liquor store, Bevmo, stuff like that. Total Wine is a big box liquor store, and they've got great prices on just like regular products, cheap prices on wine, beer, bourbon. And if you want to get like standard brands, your Old Foresters, your Wild Turkeys and stuff, they've always got like the best prices on those. They get a little out of control with their store picks sometimes.
Okay.
And they are out of their minds on their Spirits Direct products, even though a lot of them are fairly cheap. And the only reason I know this is because of some insider baseball. So I'll get to that in a second. Total Wine wants $120 for this.
Whoa.
Now, it is a 14-year, 16-year whiskey that's finished for 2 years.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I paid $100 for it.
All right.
It was $20 off. The insider baseball about the Spirits Direct products, you can actually sell those at other liquor stores in the state. It's just that most liquor stores don't carry them.
Okay.
But what my favorite store in Minnesota actually started getting Spirits Direct products, the good ones, and selling them. She sells this for like $75, $80.
Oh, wow.
So Total Wine's making a little extra on this one.
Yeah.
So I think Total Wine really gets their money off of these products is where their big markups are. Because again, they're so cheap on everything else. They're usually, $5 something cheaper than everybody else. Like a Jack Daniel's single barrel proof, it's like $62.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, wow.
And so they're really good about that. But I actually found that out because McFarlane's Reserve also does like a port finish 13-year that's $100, and I think she charges like $50, $60 for it.
Okay.
And she even said that was with her standard retail markup.
Yeah.
So
and
I wouldn't pay $120 for this.
And that's why they're pushing, because I've been to a couple Total Wines in Kentucky, and like you go, and they're always doing tastings, and it's always Spirit Directs bottles. Like they are really pushing it. Because obviously that's where they make their money.
Yep. There's actually a store in a town over from me that's starting to carry Spirits Direct stuff too. And they're actually putting Total Wine's price and their price right next to each other. It's like, why would you go to Total Wine? This bottle's $20 more there.
My.
So Total Wine at some point, at least in Minnesota, is going to have to maybe reckon with that if more stores start carrying the products.
Right.
So one other thing about this whiskey that we haven't talked about yet.
Uh-oh.
It's McFarlane's sources theirs. It does say distilled in Tennessee.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Are you getting any sort of a mineral note off of
No,
this?
Nothing.
Not at all.
Nothing.
Okay.
No, like you surprised me there.
I almost wonder if that's why it's finished for 2 years. Like to
get
root that out, maybe,
the mineral flavor out.
Because the first time I had this, I didn't really get that. And then I kind of started to get it a little bit. And I will fully say, like, I'm not a George Dickel hater, you know. Some of their products I don't like, but some of them I actually do. And I don't mind that mineral note, that Flintstone vitamin note. But one of the things that I associate that note with is a cherry fruit forward note. So this being so cherry and fruit forward, and then I found out it was from Tennessee, it could have just been in my mind that I kind of associate that because I tend to get that off of Dickel products.
Sure.
So I don't know where this came from. I can't guarantee that it is or isn't George Dickel, but should be mentioned this is from Tennessee. So
okay. Interesting. I didn't get any of that mineral or that vitamin note. I even, like, with that in mind, I took my last sip, and I get like the like a lot of times with a sherry or a port finish, besides the fruitiness, I always get like this buttery, crackery kind of biscuity kind of note, and it definitely has that. But I was really like trying to tune in on that last sip to the minerality, and I didn't really get any of it.
None for me either. I couldn't take a second sip or last sip because I finished mine about 10 minutes ago. It was good.
Here, let me pour you another one.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you.
I can't remember if I sent a 1 ounce or a 2 ounce of this.
I believe it's a 1.
Oh, I should have sent a 2.
That's good. Okay. No worries.
That's all right.
We're good here.
So what would you guys say for overall thoughts on this one?
All right. So if we were when we review a bourbon, we give it a grade A, B, C, D.
And remind me one more time of the price. It was $120.
$120. He got it for $100.
Ben got it for $100.
But I can get it for $80 at a different store.
Okay.
Then I'm giving it a B+.
All right. I'll give it a B. I think it's a very good bourbon. Like, B is like on our grading scale at school is like very good. I think it's very good. $80. I don't think I'd be mad if I paid $80 for it. If I had gone to Total Wine and paid $120, I'd probably be pretty pissed. But I think $80 is decent. I mean, for the age you're getting on it, for the finish you're getting on it, I think it's probably where it should probably be.
Yeah, and I just want to say for your viewers, I'm very discerning about the A's and even the A- that I give. So B+ is very good from me. And I love the Pop Rocks element of this a lot. It's still popping on my tongue.
If nothing else,
it does have that.
Yeah, it's an interesting pour for sure.
I always find that to be interesting too, is when it does have something like that effervescent, like we were talking about, because not all bourbons have that, and some of them are just really they're so buttery and smooth and borderline creamy, that you have a different kind of a experience with it. But then some of these are kind of like sharp and, what did you say, Brian? Zippy,
sharp and fruity.
No,
zippy. I think you said
zippy.
Yeah, and fizzy. So
Yeah,
overall, I just think this is a really interesting whiskey. Like this is not a standard pour of bourbon by any stretch.
Absolutely not.
And we always say, like, when you're doing this, like we are, and you taste all these bourbons, sometimes they all start to blend together. And it's like, this is a bourbon. Like, it just like tastes like the 3 others you tasted that day. So when you find something that's unique like this, I mean, it's a pleasant surprise. You're like, oh, wow, this is different than what I've been tasting all day.
I think, Ben, what you have here is a great conversation piece.
Yeah.
So, like, if you have people over to your house,
for sure,
and you have people who like bourbon or are maybe not so on bourbon, and you want to try to get them interested in it, this is something that you can entertain people with, for sure.
Yeah.
Kind of a whiskey nerd sort of whiskey in the sense of with your buddies that are into it, because it is so different.
Yeah,
all right.
Sure.
Well, this is a coffee table bourbon.
I'm glad you guys liked it.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I'm glad that the first one that I did here wasn't one that somebody just absolutely hated.
We didn't just spit it out into the camera.
Yeah, not that would bother me either, because some of these I'm going to be sending out are ones that I intend to do where I'm drinking it for the first time too. So we'll just experience that together. But it's always fun, when you have a whiskey with someone, if they enjoy it versus hating it. So I would say that was a success on this one.
For sure. We wished you lived closer, Ben, because you would definitely be one person that we would be having come over and sharing bourbon with us on the regular, for sure.
Send Bobby Pendleton and don't tell him what it is.
I'm going to have to set him up for one of these because he's definitely on the list. All the Whiskey 6 folks are.
Awesome.
And speaking of the Whiskey 6, before we get out of here, go
Okay.
subscribe to @the_Whiskey6. Search that on YouTube. The Whiskey and the number 6. It's Bourbon Note, Bourbon School, Sean from Whiskey Wars and Mash and Metal. It's Bad Axe Bourbon and Bourbon Drop, and we go live a couple Thursdays a month, and it's a blast.
And
It is so much
Rick,
fun.
DRC.
Oh,
Don't
Rick,
forget about Rick.
And
Rick's our guy
DRC,
now.
yeah, that's
The
right.
newest
I haven't.
member.
Yeah, I haven't been on the last couple that he's been a regular on. So yeah, and Rick from the DRC bar. So apologies to Rick for leaving you off there. And while you're at it, go subscribe to Bourbon School. You guys release videos every Wednesday and Monday. Is that correct?
That's
Monday,
correct,
Wednesday,
Ben.
yep,
Thank
yep.
you.
All right, I've got the schedule down. Well, thank you guys so much for being here and doing this with me, and again for being kind of the like you said, the canary in the coal mine on this.
Yeah.
So.
It was fun.
Thanks for having us, Ben. We'll be glad to come back anytime you want us.
And I will be inviting you. So,
Okay.
everybody, this has been McFarlane's Reserve 16 on the Bourbon Note with Bourbon School. I'm Ben. This is Brian and Marianne, and we'll see you on the next one.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, guys.